Okay, so taking a look around the exterior of this Civic, and it's clear this car has been a victim of the wet and mucky roads we had over the last month, as it's absolutely covered in dirt from front to back. There's honestly more dirt than there is paint showing, and looking at the wheels, well, believe it or not, but there's some nice shiny rims hiding underneath all that dirt, and then of course the carpeted liners are stuffed full of dirt. And moving inside now, and a good amount of that dirt has been tracked inside too, as the floor mats are pretty dirty. Then there's some dirty cup holders and other grimy areas to deal with in here as well. Okay, so as I get started here, I have to say that this is definitely one of my favorite parts about detailing, is getting to use my pressure washer and blast the dirt off a vehicle, mostly because it makes such a huge difference and the vehicles look instantly clean. Unless of course the vehicle has carpeted wheel well liners, then it's not quite as much fun. Moving to these dirty wheels and tires, and having already used the pressure washer on them nice and close, will get the majority of the dirt and any blooming off the tires. And if you aren't sure what blooming is, well, if you've ever seen brown on your tires, it's likely the anti-ozonate that's leaching out, which is something that will happen naturally over time. However, if it's not cleaned regularly, the tires will eventually be stained brown. So it's always a good idea to clean your tires regularly with a good tire cleaner and stiff brush, like the one you just saw me use, which is available on my website at detailgeekautocare.com. I'll turn to these dirty floor mats, and we'll first start by spraying them off with the pressure washer to get all the dirt and debris removed, and then using some all-purpose cleaner, I'll hit them with my medium green Detail Geek drill brush to finish them off, and then just rinse them off after. Now typically that's all I do with rubber floor mats, unless they're really worn down and still look awful after they're clean. Then I'll typically use some Carpro Pearl to revive them. Alright, with the outside nice and clean, I'll get started on the interior now, and we'll quickly get the front seats removed and set aside. And looking at what we're dealing with here, and I've definitely seen far worse lately, so I'm looking forward to working on a bit of a cleaner interior today. So I'll start by removing any of the personal items, and we'll then just toss all the remaining garbage. And because I've seen this question a fair bit recently, I figured I'd address it again. So some of you have wondered why it seems like people are never removing their personal belongings from the vehicle. And honestly, I sometimes have the same question. If you've watched the channel for a while, you'd know that lots of vehicles have come in with barely anything inside, so it really just depends on the owner. Usually it's not all that much though, and it only takes me a minute to remove it, so I really don't mind, but there have been quite a few lately that have been full of stuff. Working my way around with the vacuum, and I'm sure there's some of you out there who are wondering about the quality of carpet in the Civic. So because this is a cheaper vehicle, manufacturers tend to really cheap out on the carpets, with the Civic being no exception, as the carpet is that horrible Velcro-like stuff that holds onto every piece of dirt possible. So luckily the carpets aren't super dirty here, and I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get them looking brand new again despite their quality. Alright, so starting on all the trim now, and I'll work my way around the vehicle top down and start with a boar's hair detail brush, as it's a bit stiffer and makes quick work of any dirt or debris that's hiding down in the cracks and crevices, around the vents, the door handles, switches, cup holders, basically anywhere that you can't easily use the vacuum on. And then for any of the more sensitive plastics that are more prone to scratches, I'll switch over to the ultra soft brush. Here's all the dirty water sucked out of this Civic. Gross. Moving down to the pedals now, and after spraying on some APC diluted about 4:1, which is heavy strength, I'll blast them with some steam and the stiff brush attachment. And if you've ever wondered why I do this after extracting the carpets, it's because when I use the drill brush on the solution, it tends to fling it all over the trim and pedals. So if they were already clean, I would just end up repeating work. So for all the dirty trim pieces I removed earlier, instead of scrubbing them just with a towel, I'm using the steamer to help loosen that dirt, and it's able to get this clean in a fraction of the time. And that's really the beauty of having a tool as versatile as this McCulloch steamer is. You can use it in so many different ways all around the entire vehicle, and it makes quick work of any kind of dirt or grime. I would highly recommend giving the steamer a look if you're in the market for one. The link is down in the description if you're interested. Now to dress, UV protect, and really make this interior look brand new again, I'm applying some 303 aerospace protectant using a microfiber applicator pad. And if you haven't ever had the pleasure of using this stuff, I highly recommend grabbing a bottle. It will leave your interior with a nice matte finish for about 4 to 6 weeks and provide great UV protection. And then you can also use it to revive the look of any faded exterior plastics as well. Now, second last step here before this detail is done, and that's to get the glass cleaned. So with some glass cleaner sprayed on my waffle weave towel, I'll quickly get the top edge of the window done. And you've probably heard me say it in previous videos, but the secret to streak-free glass is a waffle weave towel. Plus, they won't leave any lint behind like regular microfiber towels will. And if you've ever had troubles with getting the inside of your windshield streak-free, well, I really don't do anything special here besides flip my towel over for the final wipe.